Looks like I'm in. Let's see what you're hiding.
You're late, Moot. I've already found the ultimate commander.
That's impossible, Jeff. There's no way you could have... Unless you had help. Don't tell me. Damn it, Mark!
Now you'll rot with the rest of your kind.
Welcome back, Planeswalkers. How you doing? And welcome to the Moot channel, your #1 source for quality decks. And today we are taking a look at the hecking chonker himself, Leori, the Sparktouched Hunter. That's right, Planeswalkers. We are building Planeswalkers. Naturally, this deck will take skill and determination to play in a format with 4 opponents, but I have faith in you, Planeswalkers. So, Leori is a Jeskai elemental cat that lets us copy Planeswalker abilities, and if they share a type, you copy each of those Planeswalker's abilities instead. So our strategy is simple. We are going to slow things down and use combo to go infinite and kill the table with all will be one. Let's take a look at our minions. Starting things off, we have a proliferate package that's going to include cards like Thrumming Bird, which is going to proliferate on damage, Flux Channeler, which is going to proliferate when we cast a non-creature spell, and Tekethul, Inquiry Dominus, who cares, to double up our many ways to proliferate. For utility, we are playing Anaki Oathkeeper for protection, Lae'zel, Champion to double up our loyalty when we activate our Planeswalkers, and Urza, Lord Protector, to ramp us and then turn into a Planeswalker himself, Silent Arbiter for more protection, and Jaius Phoenix to double our activations, and there's an upside with it coming back. Next, we have the spells of our deck, and of course we are playing Swords to Plowshares and Path to Exile for removal. Oh, and Chaos Warp, so we can get rid of the One Ring if needed. We are playing some counter spells like Counterspell, Dovin's Veto, and Force of Negation, and a Commit to Memory, which has other uses. Card Advantage comes to us in the form of Experimental Augury, which is going to proliferate. Treasure's Gambit, which is going to do this exact same thing, proliferate. And Deploy the Gatewatch. Is it card advantage? Not really, but hey, it's going here because it does stuff, right? It does card advantage type things, and hey, it's going to let us get 2 Planeswalkers for free, or it might not, which is the worst case scenario, but it can happen. For mass removal, we are playing that card. Sunfall, Promise of Loyalty, which can save our commander as well, and Blasphemous Act, because 1-mana board wipes are way too good to pass up on. For the last thing that we're going to include, it's going to be Approach of the Second Sun as an alternate win con. For artifacts and enchantments, let's start with the ramp. We're going to need to get a lot of mana for our 18 Planeswalkers. So we have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone, then Azorius Signet, Boros Signet, and Izzet Signet. To finish the ramp off, we are going to use Chromatic Lantern for mana fixing, Gatewatch Beacon for its utility, and Staff of Completion to proliferate. Oh, and there's the Mightstone and Weakstone to remove a creature, or fill our hand up if we need to, and it can flip into a Planeswalker, so it does a bunch of stuff, but it's still technically a mana rock. For our proliferate package, we have Ichor Moon Gauntlet, which can help us go infinite, a Exorbital Tide. Good lord, I said that wrong, too bad. And Oath of Gideon. Yes, I know it doesn't proliferate, but it does add counters, so it's basically the same thing. For doubling up activations, we have Lithoform Engine, which can do a whole lot in this deck, and a lot more. We have the Chain Veil, which is going to go infinite in this deck, and Oath of Teferi, which can reset a Planeswalker's loyalty if needed. For random includes, I went with Duelist Heritage to work with our commander's damage ability, and you can use it basically to be political in your group, as you can target any creature with it. Smothering Tithe, since it is getting a reprint and it's a staple, all will be one to kill the table, and then Elspeth Conquers Death to kill, tax, and reanimate, and Sphere of Safety to protect ourselves, and Urza Assemble the Titans to tutor, play, and double our Planeswalker abilities. Now for the fun part of our deck, our Planeswalkers. I will separate them based on mana. So starting off, we have our 3 mana walkers, and that's going to be Jace, Cunning Castaway, which combos, and remember, combos are after the deck list. We have Narset, Parter Veils to go with our commit and be annoying for our table, and Teferi, Time Reveler, to slow things down and make board wipes instant speed. For 4 mana, we have Commodore Guff, which is the deck's alternative commander, and he provides us with card advantage and damage, and technically mana dorks, does a bunch of different things. Jace, the Mind Sculptor, since he is now the cheapest he's ever been in a long time, and Narset Transcendent to give board wipes rebound, and it has a nasty ultimate. Narset of the Ancient Wave for ramp and removal. Teferi, Master of Time to slow things down to give us card advantage, and Teferi who slows the sunset to combo with. For 5 mana walkers, we have Chandra, Legacy of Fire to give us all the mana. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria to slow things down and make everyone at the table reconsider who they invited to a Magic Night. Teferi, Temporal Pilgrim, since we love drawing cards and might as well play them. Vranos, Masked Inquisitor to try him out, and I think his protection that he provides for other planeswalkers should be pretty interesting in the deck, so we're definitely going to give him a shot. For 6 mana, we have Chandra, Awakened Inferno to kill the table, Elspeth, Sun's Champion for board wipes, and give us blockers as well as it's being reprinted, so it's a lot cheaper than it used to be. Teferi's Temporal Archmage to combo with Chainmail, and the Eternal Wanderer to board wipe and flicker our Mightstone if it is not a planeswalker yet. Combos in the deck are going to be pretty simple, but are hard to pull off as we're talking about planeswalkers here, and we need them to live for this to work. The first combo is going to involve Teferi Temporal Archmage with the Chain Veil, Ikarumoon Gauntlet, and one other planeswalker. It doesn't matter which one. So we're going to activate the Chainmail for 4 mana and let each planeswalker activate an additional time. We'll use Teferi's second ability to untap 4 permanents, which should all be mana producers, and then depending on what we pick, we will go infinite with mana, because the other planeswalker is going to use the Ikarumoon Gauntlet ability and proliferate twice. So the original Teferi will never run out of his untap. He can always -1. This combo should give you infinite mana and infinite turns with infinite damage if you have All Will Be None. All Will Be One. Oops. Next we have Teferi, who slows the sunset with Lithoform Engine. So we're going to activate Teferi's first ability by putting a loyalty counter on it, holding priority, and then we're going to activate a creature or land by tapping it and adding at least 3 mana. Remember, you need 3 mana for this to work. Activate Lithoform Engine's first ability by paying 2 and tapping it, copying Teferi's ability. Resolve the copy of Teferi's ability, untap Lithoform Engine and or the creature that can produce 3, and then you will gain 2 life. And what's going to happen is we will then repeat and we'll go back before the first one triggered, and then retap. So as long as we can keep the first trigger on the stack, then with Lithoform Engine and 3 mana, we can keep copying it to basically go infinite, gain 2 life, and net us 1 mana each time. Now, you can net more mana from this, and speaking of which, you can get the Teferi ultimate. You could, in theory, you could just go crazy with a creature, because keep in mind, we have mana dorks with Commodore Guff. They can tap for mana, so bunch of different things here that you can do. Last, we have Jace, Cunning Castaway, Lizelle, Valkrith's Champion, and Oath of... So the way it works is we're going to cast Jace by playing 2 blue and 1 colorless. Jace is going to enter the battlefield with 5 loyalty counters on him because of Oath and Lizelle. We're going to activate Jace's third loyalty ability. It's going to remove 5, kill him, but it is going to resolve Jace's ability, and it's going to create 2 legendary copies of Jace, which both enter with the 5 loyalty. So now we have a way to make infinite Jace tokens, right? Because we just say a random number, 2 million. We have 2 million Jace tokens, and then we can either activate their ability to make the 2/2 illusion tokens, and we have infinite attackers, right? But that will take a full turnaround, and that's not always guaranteed. Now, if we have Ikarumoon Gauntlet, though, we have infinite turns, and then if we have All Will Be One, it's infinite damage. So preferably you have one of those cards out for it to work, but technically speaking, you don't. Now, Jace Cunning Castaway actually combos with more cards in here, like Chain Veil. I won't explain them all fully because I want you guys to learn and experiment with the deck. And of course, I heavily encourage you to add planeswalkers that you like in these colors, guys. Commander is nothing if it is not fun. That's going to do it for today's video, Planeswalkers, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, feel free to join my Discord and ask me questions or recommend a commander. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace!